Welcome back to the Silver Lantern Archive. Today we are continuing on with Horrors from the Depth. Our party is making their way away from their most recent battle, but they've got a plan to move forward, and I'm going to leave our good Fenrir to catch us up on what's been going on.
So after our test to see if we were good enough for the mission, we got a location of it from the big old dragon boy, the Sage. He told us that there was another island, that there was a petal, or we have to get the petals from a flower to help our friends that are in stasis or paralyzed, or can't move at the very least, and some of our friends that are turning into mushrooms. I believe he said there was another thing that we need to do for the mushrooms, because we have a guy in our group that decided to eat some. Um,
I believe it was the fleece for both of
after
them.
oh, it was for both of them. Okay.
I believe so.
So we got our general mission layout of what we're gonna do next. We got a lore dump. I'm calling it the CC's temptation to go off course, and how the gods and the dragons and a few other beings that were centuries old or even older than that, had a fight with the gods, and they trapped the sage and a few of his brothers in other locations. So we're gonna leave us to ponder if we're gonna do that next or continue the main quest. But we got people to save, so we're doing the main quest for sure. And on the way, we also picked up the pixie. I forget her name.
Thistle.
And Thistle. Yep, thank you. And I believe I'm carrying the captain, and Sandel is carrying the kitty, and we're on our way back to the ship.
Yup. It takes a while for the party to make it back all the way from Aranthar's pool back to camp where they can recover their left behind gear so they may make their way back to the ship ready to get moving once again. Once they have recovered it and they do the trek back to the ship, even at a distance, they can see the ship no longer has the massive mushrooms growing out of them. As well, the ship has backed off of the beach and is now floating in the water of the bay.
What about the crew that was trapped underneath all the mushrooms? Are they paralyzed or are they up
You cannot
moving?
see them
Well,
at a distance.
Oh, got it. Okay.
You do see the
as
massive holes are still in the ship. However, there is now a shimmering wall of energy covering these holes.
how far from the land is the ship, and is there a uh rowboat to at least get back over to the ship?
It's not too far. You'll have to walk in maybe waist deep, and you'll be at the front of the ship. There's a rope dangling down for y'all to climb up.
Okay.
And I'll help Sandal bring up the captain and the cat together, since we're probably the strongest, or Cassie and a three would probably be the strongest on bringing them up.
Yep.
Guess I'll just climb up. Climb speed, here we go.
You'll make it up back on to the top of the ship. You still see all of the holes in the deck. The ship is an utter mess, but you don't see anybody on top of the ship, nor do you see the giant mushrooms.
Too many people
Can
below
we go
deck.
down to look for him?
Once you get down below, you see each of your companions where they were left. No longer mushrooms, but currently unconscious.
Probably should leave the captain and Siren here. Well, the safest place for them.
Are they just like on the floor?
Yes. Where they
I'm
some are in
gonna
bed, some are on the floor.
move the ones that are just on the floor into like some beds.
You throw them into some of the hammocks.
Yeah.
A lot of the medical beds that were being used were destroyed by the mushrooms.
Hmm.
Because that's where those that were still up and moving had put those that had fallen.
Hmm.
And when they turned into mushrooms, bad things happened to the beds.
I guess some people are gonna have to share.
How's the captain quarters looking? I'll probably put the captain in our quarters now.
Completely destroyed at the moment.
Alright,
That's
then
what I
yeah,
was
they're
gonna
going.
That was where Quartermaster Neva was.
A wife,
Is
right?
there a
Yeah.
way we can get? Is there a way we can get everyone kind of like at least in secure places where they're not just dropped on the floor randomly from falling out of a mushroom?
I mean,
We
you can stack them
position.
somewhere if you want. There's not enough places to put them in like beds or hammocks at this point. But you can keep them all in one place.
If
With them moving them
anything-
around, do they look like they're
if
gonna wake up, or
anything-
they? Oh,
We could always tie some rope together, create a net to keep them in place. If you put most of the people who are on the floor that don't really have room for beds on the island to one place, at least keep them from moving around the ship then with the turbulent seas. That's just an idea.
I just didn't want everyone to get knocked around, like if we hit bad water or something like that, to just smash into walls repeatedly and get beat up while they're not conscious.
You could always
do
just
they
put
look
them on
like?
a fish net.
Do they look like what captain's going through, or do they just look like they're asleep?
It's just
Because the
unconscious.
captain's. Okay. They try waking them up.
They do not respond.
I don't think we can wake them up until they get the cure from the mushrooms. We have to get both the mushrooms and the mushroom cure and the cure for eating too much of the fruit. Those the two things. Those who got hit by mushrooms or ate them, and then the people who ate too much fruit. So
Which would include 3 of us. That's starting to happen too. Yes,
Then we
it's
should
the
I
head
thought
out.
we stopped
rope.
feeling the. I thought we stopped feeling the effect of the fruit because we didn't overconsume the fruit, and so when we went on our
No.
walk through
Out
the
of the
stuff, we
forest,
noticed it.
you can start feeling it again.
That's why we need to get going. I'm going to look for some rope though, to at least to tie up to help, essentially encase those so that they're not being rocked around the ship. If you can just kind of put them in a pile, those who don't have hammocks and that.
Are we able to use the storage room, like Christopher's asking?
Yeah. I mean, there is the issue of there being a massive hole in the storage room.
Yeah, that's why Cassie was thinking just put them to one side of the ship and that doesn't have a hole. That's still good, and kind of just tying them off with like essentially rope that's like in a fish net type of pattern, and that just to kind of keep them in place there so that they're not going sideways, not on the ship. I don't know how to explain.
Rocking
I
back
get
and
what you're
forth.
talking about.
Yeah, with the. I'm with you.
Secure them in place like cargo, I guess.
Well, it takes a little while to get them secured down as much as you are able, doing it in a way that doesn't cut off circulation. So they've got a little bit of wiggle room. If y'all hit really rough waters, they're still going to get jostled around because that's just the way it is on a boat.
Yeah.
But y'all think they're going to be safe for the foreseeable future. The other big problem y'all have is y'all lost all of y'all's masts during the fighting.
But the sage said he's gonna magic us our ship though, and then we're gonna have to figure out how to get back. But That's what I thought I remembered.
Yeah, I was under the impression that the sage was going to, like, when the ship was, they were going to get the ship safe to travel, I mean, as safe as they could, and then they would actually move it to the next island that we have to go to, since none of us know where the island is.
That is what he said.
Okay.
But the question is, what is the party up to now that y'all have settled back in? Jin has gone back into the main deck, or the lower deck, to find his instrument. And you can hear
Yes.
soft music playing from below. His voice is still pretty shit, as he's not a very good singer. As well, Thistle is flitting all over the boat, going this way and that, exploring.
Cassie will probably be looking for stuff to get the ship going, essentially. She doesn't know if the other
How to
anyone
get
else here can
okay.
pilot the or sail the ship, since you know the captain and that's done, but she knows some things about it.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have the propulsion to make this ship go anywhere. The rudder's
There's no
damaged, the
wind.
sails are gone, y'all don't have the manpower for rowing.
There's some broken pieces out in the sea. The masts and that.
But the masts are completely gone.
Yeah. Or with the ones that we kind of saw a couple of sessions ago, where it was kind of like broken apart and that, but essentially it sailed into the island.
Yeah. It's in a bad way, and there's not enough usable material to make new masts or anything. But once everybody has settled back in, you'll feel the boat shift. The waves starting to surge underneath as the boat on its own pushes out of the bay into open water. Anyone that's still down in the hold will see the water rushing underneath the shimmering magic that is covering the massive hole in the bottom of y'all's boat.
Cassie will be going towards the wheel of the ship.
You make it over there.
I think Arcane's just sitting.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think Arcane's just sitting up at the bow of the ship, just looking forward, watching for things because of the fish people who came out of the water last time.
Fair. But Cassie, once you arrive up at
I've been
the
muted.
quarterdeck, you see the wheel isn't moving. You see, well, it's moving. It's lightly tilting off to the right, but you can feel the ship turning underneath you without input from the wheel.
So essentially, the seer magics might just be controlling the ship, from what she can surmise, because that's not normal.
No, it's not. And especially with the rudder being busted up. It's not all that surprising. It's going under some other propulsion. Because even...
Hey,
Oh,
and you want to help me with? Oh,
Go ahead.
Oh,
do you want to help me with something? And Cece, is there enough debris that maybe we could patch the hole at the bottom while we're moving under the magic circumstance?
No. The debris that was on the boat wasn't enough to... It wasn't in good enough condition to patch anything.
Okay.
It was wasted
mind
in the
then.
water, damaged by the salt, and just torn to shreds.
Gotcha. Yeah, never mind then, friend.
no worries.
Plus, does anybody have
Cassie will-
carpentry tool proficiency?
let me see.
Yeah, let me check that. Go. Unless you let me use a flute.
Flute is not that.
Yeah.
You would need somebody with carpenter's tool proficiency to actually repair the boat with any meaningful
Gotcha.
patch. You might be able to put like a tarp down, but actually fixing it to hold water, you wouldn't be able to do much of anything.
So we need to get the fleece for sure because the guy that knows how to fix it was with the mushroom effect over him. Okay.
Yeah, Liam. You'll need Liam back.
Okay.
Liam and Wisp are going to be y'all's best bets.
I don't know how I could argue for a pirate to be knowing to know that.
I mean, if you were
Patch job, sure, but not like
you
she was
already
a
have your
pirate.
proficiency, so we're well past that. But it doesn't take long before y'all find yourselves in very calm, open water. Some clouds moving overhead due to the sound of the sea rolling around, but not much else. What the party like to do?
Basically, I'm gonna look for my pipe and start playing with Loki. Throw the ball around. Let me figure out what's going on next.
Jane would like to take about 8 hours to sleep. So she would probably make her way back to Cassie, because I'm assuming if she's at the bow, she can see Cassie by the wheel. And she'd be like, Cassie, honey, I really need to get some sleep. Fighting that mean dragon thing who was just so rude kind of took a lot out of me. Are you fine if I just like lay right about here and try and sleep
Sure.
for a while?
Go ahead, I'll be keeping an eye just in case anything gets off course. I don't know if there's much I can do given the state of the rudder and the lack of masses, but I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, I think we're kind of just in this until we end up where we go. So we're either going to end up at an island, or more fishermen are going to come up here, or we'll sink. And I don't think we really have much control over that. So I figured I'd just try and sleep and heal up some.
Go
And
ahead.
I think Arcane would
I'll
just
be
kind
keeping
of,
an eye on everything.
yeah, I think she'd just kind of curl up. She's pretty short. She's like 5 feet nothing. So she'd just kind of curl up in a little ball and go pass out.
Cassie will take off her jacket and just give it to Arcane at least. She just has her usual pirate, like, shirt and that then. Just to be keeping an eye out. It's probably fucking
Yeah,
cold.
thank you.
It's actually pretty tropical out here.
Okay. Well.
Nice sunny sun coming down from above. Little breeze from the sea.
Well, the jacket to put over her face, then if Arcane needs that to keep the sun out of her eyes so that she could sleep.
She'd totally throw it over her.
Y'all have also been walking for hours upon hours trying to get back to the ship.
And that's why Cassie's going to keep like first watch and that, so to speak, until someone else can like watch over the top of the ship.
I think when the time's up, you'd be able to kick Arcane, but I don't think there's anything like graceful about it. I think she kind of just literally hit the deck and passed right out, because between the fight and all the walking and being on that island for so long, I think everyone's pretty beat.
Cassie just feels very responsible to watch over like the ship and that until everyone else gets a rest, and then she will.
Do note anybody wearing a medium or heavy armor will not get the benefits of a long rest if they are still wearing their armor.
Dang it.
All right, then Arcane is going to stand up, drop her armor off, grab Cassie's jacket, sling it around her, and then fall to the ground and pass out with her armor right next to her. And she doesn't even care if anyone sees her strip everything off, because she doesn't think that way at all. She just is really quick trying to get herself. So she's now in one of those, you know, like those 1800s and 90s type things. I always think of movies that they always have like the guys wear. It's like, that's like what's underneath, because she wears chainmail. That's like a long kind of dress style, almost like chainmail thing. So she's just got like one of those little like, makes me the Christmas Story guy, Ebenezer Scrooge or whatever, like what he wears is basically
like a
what she has
nightgown.
underneath. So
That's right.
yeah. So Yep. So she's got like a nightgown, and then she'll just wrap herself up in Cassie's jacket, and then just like hit the deck right next to her armor, and then she's out like a light.
Cassie will tie down the armor to at least the base of like the wheel, so it doesn't go moving and that while she's taking a watch.
Thank you.
Fenrir, you saw once y'all got on the boat, Loki managed to get up here and promptly crashed. He is
Right,
just
and I'm just
lounging on the side of the boat. He's just like that.
Alright, then I'll be sitting next to him and just pass, keeping an eye out. Not really trying since I see Cassie's on lookout. I'm just looking out, just relaxing.
What will Christopher and Sandal be up to? You saw Jin go down below, and Thistle is somewhere. A mote of light just flailing back and forth, exploring the ship.
Sandow has taken a cannonball and is currently sitting on like the steps of the ship and is just palming it while kind of reading through his spell book.
Gotcha. The hours start to pass, the day going into night, and then all the way back into day without the waters becoming choppy at all, and the boat sailing almost as if it's moving over glass. Once the party has become well rested and they are back awake the very next day, what are y'all up to? As you'll find, you'll have quite the ways to sail.
Been getting a little bored here. I'll ask if anyone wants to sprawl. Need to exercise. Or Naughty or train by himself until someone walks up if they feel it to it.
Cassie will probably check in on Thistle to see how she is doing with all this, since she probably heard her just zoom, 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 zoom the other day while she was on watch.
You don't know where Thistle is at the moment. You saw her come up a couple times during the night, but after a while she just kind of vanished.
So she might be asleep or checking on another part of the ship. We don't know.
Fair. Are you gonna go look for her?
Yeah, she'll go look for her for now.
Arcane, you see Cassie pass by you heading back down into the bowels of the ship. Can I get a perception check from Cassie?
Okay. Don't mind being drinking energy drink. Perception. Oh, that's an oof.
As you're going through, the only thing you really see is Jin sitting atop the box. Y'all first met him on down on the lower deck, just out cold. His gear it's still strapped to him, but he's just seemed to be asleep, leaning against the side of the ship.
Cassie doesn't want to wake him up, but he's not going to be well rested since it looks like he has heavier medium armor from what Cassie can.
He's not wearing it. It's in his bag for the most
Okay.
part, but his gear is attached to him in case somebody else throws him off the ship.
Okay. I was understanding that he was still wearing it. I was like, cute little. Because Cassie would have scolded, but she'll leave him be and continue looking around.
Well, that's going on, and Fenrir and Sandow are throwing down upstairs. What is Christopher and Arcane up to?
I think it's me and Chris throwing down upstairs.
So,
Sandow has not moved since yesterday.
he's just sitting under the cannonball like it's a cat.
He's like palming a cannonball while reading his spell book.
Gotcha. So, Arcane, what are you up to?
Since Cassie went downstairs and Arcane was back there, I think she would just try and pick up the mantle for Cassie and just kind of, she doesn't know jack squat about ships, but she would definitely be staying up here trying to just keep an eye out on things, like paying attention. Still worried things are going to crawl on the ship. Being observant as best she can.
Make it a perception check.
Okay.
As you are on lookout, you do notice something. There's a roiling in the water.
Oh, as soon as she sees that, she's screaming for everyone. Like she'll yell, Cassie, and be like, stand out, honey. And she'll go, Finn, Christopher, boys, stop wrestling and come on up here now, please. I'm just try and summon the people, but she would have screamed Cassie pretty loud.
Cassie probably would have heard that with her ears.
Yep.
Going back up the steps and going back to the whale.
If I've been called out, I'll be following. I'll be taking Chris by, having him over my head by beating him up too bad.
Sandow snaps out of it and is like, what, huh? What's going on?
Yeah. When the people come over, Arcane would point it out and go, you see that out there, the water is, I don't think the water's supposed to do that. So I wanted to point that out because last time the water acted weird, a bunch of fishermen came up here and a big water thing flung me into the ocean and I ended up on an island. We all did. So
That was with the huge storm. Cassie will be looking towards the sky, then back down to where Arcane's generally pointing to while she's explaining this.
Fair. You see
Okay.
the water is roiling as if something's going on underneath it.
are we
You said
approaching? Like, is
go
the
under
ship
the
going to go
water.
through it?
No, it's off to the east.
Cassie will just
Go ahead.
Cassie will just be checking her navigational tools with us as well too. Kind of just saying which direction they're currently headed.
Being based on where the sun is, y'all are currently heading to the east. So it would be southeast of y'all. Y'all are going to pass by it.
Okay.
You can always shoot it with an arrow, guys.
She'll just be taking a mental note of that and if shoot anything right down in case they have to go back out this direction.
As y'all are watching, you see the water effectively explode upward in this giant geyser. As y'all see white scales for just a moment as this great serpentine beast comes flinging itself out of the water straight up. You see a massive fin along the side of its head, and it probably, based on what you can see, its girth is about the size of y'all's ship. It is a massive beast, and in its giant maw, you can see it has this tuna fish that is a little bit smaller than y'all's ship, but not by much.
A well? Like, just to get an idea in my head, is it a big-ass well? That creature?
It's a whale-sized tuna fish, but this is a sea serpent.
Okay.
As if you look into our twerk, I will show you.
Thank you.
As if this great white serpent of a creature.
Yeah, Cassie is gonna immediately just be like, do not fuck with that.
Is that the
You
serpent
guys-
that we were fighting?
No,
At the
serpent
beginning
you were
with the
fighting was smaller and made of water. This is an actual muscle-bound creature.
Do
As
you
it
guys know
goes
what
up-
this means? Oh, sorry.
It goes up into to the air with the tuna clasped down on it with its jaw. You can see green blood spurting out where its teeth are digging through the scales before it arches and slams back into the water, disappearing.
That's usually not a good omen.
I don't know. Finn's thinking it's pretty damn tight. I don't know. He's looking like, oh my shit, that was cool.
Oh, Sandow, honey, I think just because that serpent caught a giant whale fish thingy, I don't know if we could do the same. I don't know if we're quite that good at fishing.
Not with the speed of the ship. We can't put down nets. We can't do that.
Oh,
A rope to me, I could be the hook. I'm joking.
Can she like
Sando,
generally
consider it for a
estimate?
second.
Two voices. Cassie, then Sandow.
Can Cassie like generally like estimate kind of the speed the ship is going at in comparison to how it was before?
Roll navigation.
Navigation.
Navigator's tools.
Uh, why is it saying macro options?
Because you don't have it set, it's going to be based on intelligence. It's probably querying.
That's a query. So it should be intelligence.
Yep.
Fuck.
You think the boat's actually going pretty damn fast? About 2.5 times its normal speed. It's hard to tell with the waters being so calm, but that thing's moving fast.
No. Well, at least in comparison to like calm seas that she's seen before on a different ship at a different time.
I mean, compared to this ship,
Yeah. Yeah, compared to this ship.
it
Yeah.
is going significantly faster than it should be able.
So I'm assuming she was seeing this ship on calm waters before given
Yeah.
her time with the ship. Okay. There's definitely. We can't normally do this on the ship when it's normally moving how it was before. Definitely not with this speed. Cassie will at least let the group know that.
Sandow?
Oh, it was nothing.
Okay. So, what we all do is you'll see the serpent's tail, after a little bit, flick back underwater.
Is it still light out, so does it make a shadow underneath it? Is it like at the top of the surface or deep underwater?
It disappears pretty quick. But it
Okay,
is
so-
morning, so y'all can see pretty well.
Cassie will just continue keeping an eye out. Also monitoring the ship and the surroundings while they're going. She seems pretty quiet today though. So far.
Christopher,
It's the
Fenrir, and
the
Sandow about to do
sage.
anything nuts? Oh, what were you saying, Chris? Or Fenrir?
Oh, I was gonna say, the Sage said it was about to be 3 to 4 days a trip. The trip's gonna take us, right?
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
I mean, we could try to put fishing rods or something over the side and catch some kind of fish to help freaking Sandow in his need to eat meat.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
Can y'all
I mean,
just
hope-
make sure you secure yourselves so you don't get ripped off the side of the ship? I'm not saying that would happen. I just am saying I think that might happen. And
We'll
neither of you go off the side of the ship, please.
we'll tie a rope to each other, not understanding it fully.
No, tie a rope
so
to the ship and yourselves, please.
But is there, do you want me to make a check, or can I look for maybe get lucky and find a fishing rod or a couple fishing rods that didn't get destroyed?
There wouldn't be fishing rods, but there would be fishing tools.
Isn't a fishing tool a fishing rod? I mean.
Like a fishing net.
It'd
Type
be
of
like
thing.
deep sea fishing.
Hmm.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh yeah, I would look for something and try to get us some food.
As you throw your line over, you notice it immediately jets behind you, going sideways instead of down.
Warned
There's
you.
the magic.
Oh.
The ship's going a lot more speed than it usually would. So I advise against this.
After
Well,
a
that's
couple
disappointing.
seconds,
Was
it
it?
snaps into the water and it gets yanked. I need an athletics check from whoever has the line in their hand. Fenrir, you get slammed against the railing and you hear it crack, trying to keep hold of that line. Same thing happens to Chris.
Can I help?
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oof.
So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to pull them back?
I was gonna try to pull onto them rather than the actual rope.
Well, the thing about the remainder of the mast is there's not much of the mast left, and you don't get pulled off. You just get slammed against what's left of the railing.
Okay.
Can we try to drag it back in, or
Yeah.
is
you
it
know
too
the
far gone?
athletics. Y'all kept hold of it. Y'all didn't lose it. That's why y'all got slammed. It's going to be rough, but y'all can pull it back in.
No.
You're not making any headway, as it seems to have caught the surge of the waves, and it's yanked tight. Sando, who are
All
you
this
helping,
pity rolls
Fenrir
out
or
of the way.
Christopher? Sando?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Who are you helping, Fenrir or Chris?
I think he was probably trying to help out Christopher.
As you're attempting to grab it, Christopher completely loses his grip on the rope and it almost snaps away. But you manage to catch it just barely.
Can Arcane reach Sandow by chance?
Yeah, he's just on this edge.
All right, she's just gonna walk up because she's not super athletic or strong, but she wants to walk up and put guidance on Sandow to try to help him and say, "All right,
Alright.
honey, hopefully this helps you get a little stronger pulling that thing up. Please don't
Then-
go over the edge."
And I would give him advantage. I'll give him the help action. I am proficient in athletics.
Are you going to be letting go of yours, Fenrir?
Oh, I thought we were all helping
Y'all have two different ropes.
each
it
other.
sounds
I was
like.
gonna say I'll just, instead of rolling, I was gonna give him advantage, but
Yeah. Sandow has
Yeah,
one of them,
yeah, never mind.
Fenrir has the other.
Cassie will come
Gotcha.
over to
Okay,
help
never mind.
Fenrir with his.
Alrighty. So I need a pull from, with advantage from Fenrir and a normal one from Sandow. You lost your
Alright.
grip on yours, Chris. You caught it before it got
Sandow.
lost.
I needed that advantage. Thank you, Cass.
Sandow's going to go into a rage and explode out of his coat in order to do this.
Okay.
Naked man at the sea.
Sandow
Nice.
rips it back out of the water before
Just a second.
Chris is able to grab onto it.
RD4. And I do have guidance, so I'm going to do
Yeah.
guidance too.
Oh,
Oh, look at
Nice.
that! Just
As
doing the most
Sandow rips it
amazing
up,
thing any of us
Fenrir's
have
just
ever
like, I got it. Sandow grabs it, rips it up, it catches on Fenrir's hook, yanks that one back up as they come flying back up and land with a thud behind y'all.
Naked man got it handled. Thank you. And I'll put him back.
No problem.
I'll look
I
back
got my workout in there.
and see if it's just the I'm guessing it's just the tools. Did they bring anything up with it?
No. They didn't
That's
have
what I
enough
thought.
time. It went land yank, which means it was the force of the water moving that yanked it.
We got to go like we must be going like 50 to 80 miles per hour on the seas. That's
We're
pretty.
going double the speed we usually would go when the ship's fully intact on a calm sea.
Yeah.
Let me get.
Arcane's gonna maybe just give everyone like stand out a little pat on the shoulder and say, I think you just did the absolute best you could. And you too, Finn and Cassie and Chris. And then she's gonna go back and keep a lookout on things again because she doesn't want everyone to just be watching in case something happens. She's very paranoid of the ocean now.
Yeah, Cassie will just take another look around the ship and at least with the top deck before checking on the 2 other floors of the ship.
Y'all are probably only going about 12 miles an hour. 12, 15.
Yeah.
Ship only normally goes about 5.
Yeah.
I was thinking for from it, I have to go pretty than that. I might be tripping though. It's okay.
Y'all are going through water, which is a pretty solid thing.
Yeah.
Chris, I wouldn't recommend doing that again with the speed of the ship. If we could have done it before when the ship was moving slower. Imagine that double the speed, it would be the same instance of trying that same thing again.
Loki's
So
on the edge of the
please,
thing. He's got the rope in his mouth, like, throw me, boss, I got it.
Oh. It'll be the cutest bait ever.
please do not launch the dog off of the ship.
Sando's gonna start re-sewing his cloak back together again.
The character, we need to get you clothes mending or something.
That'd be nice.
Chris is tying himself to Sandow in the background.
Sando's he's still sewing as he's doing that. he's just like doing like, oh, he's doing
Yeah.
something. I don't know what he's
He's
doing.
just like tying
That's
it
okay.
to like your hips or something. Like you're just
Yeah.
like hands are like more up to your face and that while you're trying to sew this.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear you say you dropped rage, so I just see you giant throw a freaking thing together.
Aggressive
Him tying his stuff to your leg.
Stab himself with a finger. Stab, stab, stab. To keep the rage going.
To keep rage, yeah.
It's just the cloak's getting just a little bit of blood at a time because of the needle. Oh no.
He's really good at sewing red shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, even though the fabric was originally white.
Let's just hope nobody ever wears it, because that's a death sentence. Never be the guy in a red shirt on a ship.
And Chris and Sandow, when they got to our island before they found us, he said they ran out of food a long time ago, right?
Oh yeah.
I was
Yeah.
about to go through the storage and see if there was any foods. Okay. Never mind then. Guess we're having that still fruit diet. It's not good.
Sando whispers back, I think Arcane will get mad at me if I do that, so I don't think that's a good idea.
Bessie's still probably on the top of the deck. Does she see just Christopher just whispering to Sando? Yeah, do you just see this tabaxi just march up to you? The both of you?
Yes. Do you
What
need
are you
something?
two planning?
I think he wanted to do tug of war. I mean, never mind. After he said that.
Sorry, my dirty mind was going off. My bad,
I
guys.
think
I
I
didn't mean to
told you
laugh like that.
this. This would now be at least the third time I'm telling you this. And she just looks actually mad at this point. Like she's getting fed up with this. Well, I understand the food situation. There's also the matter of the ship is going too fast. The ship is trying to get us to the other island as fast as possible before it breaks apart. The more you guys keep trying to throw the tools in order to fish, there's more of the probability of breaking the rails that we currently have, doing more damage to the ship, and losing the tools in the process. So even if we get everybody back, if we can't get food after that, it'll be even worse of a situation. More mouths to feed.
I wasn't even gonna do anything.
Oh, she's not looking at you. She's looking at Christopher at this point. We'll be able to move alongside the ship at this current speed it's going. She's kind of just like crossing her
I
arms
don't.
at this time.
I don't think where we are is I think you're within 20 feet of the water from if you look over and look down, regardless if someone dangles you or not. Oh, ain't 20 feet up, is it? It's not 20 stories high.
That would be 2 stories.
Yeah, so yeah, you're more within 20 feet just looking down within the water without someone dangling you.
I think that would be. Each floor would probably be about 8 feet. It's about 16, yeah. You'd be about.
Cassie will just
I'm
shake
thinking
her,
15 feet up in my head is what I was
shake
thinking.
her
Sorry.
head.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll listen to me anyways. Just don't get anyone killed with your ideas. And she'll
Narcane,
kind of
like,
just storm off. You could probably tell her mood's just worsening at this point.
Narcane calls Sandow over. If he will come. She says, Sandow, honey, did you want to try and work on teaching me how to sew, and I can start working on teaching you some of the magic that I know? I think that trying to go off the side of the ship, having seen our fishing net get smashed back and people almost going over the ship, probably means it's a bad idea to keep trying to go off the side of this ship right now.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And he starts walking up with Christopher still tied to him. Uh,
Christopher, I need an athletics check. He gets yanked off his feet, getting dragged along over towards the forecastle. Can I get a perception check from Arcane?
Yes, you can.
You do note, Arcane, off to the right of the ship, there is a large dark spot.
Like in the water, or
Yeah, in the water.
okay. Then it's gonna be once again go, Cassie, and Finn, because the others are coming up to her, and she's gonna point it out because her paranoia is through the roof in the water.
Cassie will go up
They
there
will,
and take a look again.
There is something massive under the water right next to the ship.
I don't think this is good.
That's not a good sign, usually. And is it like keeping up with the speed of the ship?
Oh, yeah.
Keeping up with the speed of the ship.
I really,
That's not normal. That's not good.
it's That's what that is.
It looks to be roughly about 70 feet long.
Oh
About
my
like
god,
the
it's that
length of
freaking
the
thing
fish.
that just came out of the water.
The thing that just came out of the water would be longer, and yes, about the same size as the ship. The ship would be a little bit longer, but not by much.
So about the same size as that weird tuna thing.
I was gonna say
yeah, it's wider than the tuna, but
Well, it
I'm
doesn't
sorry.
seem
Did
to
you
be
already?
aggressive right now? Just don't mess with it.
Does it look like it's gaining? Sorry if you already answered this, but I didn't hear it. Did you say it's gaining on us or just keeping pace with us?
it's just next to the ship.
Okay. So fish creatures are animals, unless they're like a monster type thing. But like fish are animals, right?
Beasts usually, yeah.
Hold on. Let me see if I could speak to it, because I have speak with animals. And it's intelligent, but a minimum information about nearby location and monsters. It's just so it's a beast and not. Oh no, mini beast is limited, so I could use it. Okay. Oh fuck it. I would try to ask what it's.
Are you using a spell slot
If
to
it's
use it,
just
or you don't? Do you have an ability
yeah.
that uses it? Okay.
Yeah, I have a spell slot.
You get no response.
I'm trying to use the getting used to spells since my ranger side.
Cassie will try to see if it's, with it being next to the ship, if it's actually helping the ship go faster at least.
It's a little bit off to the right. It wouldn't be touching it. You might be in its. You should be getting hit by its slipstream, but you're not. It is also very wide.
Oh.
Probably about 50 feet wide versus the 70 feet long.
Did you say if I got anything back when I said say hi
You
while
did
you're
not.
next to us? Okay.
Arcane. Please make sure they do not mess with what's right next to us.
I can do that. And then Arcane is just going to do like unblinking glare eye contact at Sandow and then Christopher. Be like, we need to just leave that alone so we can get where we're going. I know you're hungry. We're all hungry, and it's making all of us a little bit testy, but we are going to leave that be so we do not have the ship broken apart and everyone on it die. Okay?
Sando's been sitting down and getting the materials to teach how to sew this whole time.
Thank you, Santa. I appreciate that. Christopher? Because she knows that like Cassie and Finn aren't going to do anything. I love that White Hot Sailor Man's just probably down below the ship hanging out.
Yep,
singing.
he's down there. You don't hear him singing at the moment, but he'd be down
That's
there.
his off-cue singing is what drew the monster to us. Is what I thought was going on.
Then, if she's not worried about Sandow and Christopher trying to jump over the edge and ride this thing or stab it to death, Arkin would sit down and start
Granted,
learning from Sandow.
Jin might throw down with that thing.
Cassie's gonna go check.
Can't see Jin right now, so
Cassie will go check below the ship where she remembers Jin being at from when she was looking for Thistle earlier.
You see, he's no longer there.
freaking.
There's the non-focal. Fuck. Just
New plan, Chris.
But there is still the hold below you. You're just
yeah,
on the
she'll
lower
be
deck.
checking down there too. She's keeping an eye for both him and Thistle.
You find Jin when you get down into the hold. Is he standing next to one of the holes in the side of the hold? Just looking out into the water over toward off the side of the ship where the giant shadow is.
Look towards the hull.
You
Look-
can't see it from where you are. You'd have to walk up to where he is.
Yeah, she's walking over to where he is.
Alrighty, and
Picking
you
up my jacket.
can see through the rainbow what's under the water. Let me send you an image real quick.
Cassie's always getting a picky at the monsters. First it was the Spider-Man guy, and now it's this
And the other
sea
camping.
creature. Yeah.
Let me send this.
Little fish.
Where's the thing I need? This will have to work. Cassie,
Mm-hmm.
this is what you see.
Okay. Cassie's like, no.
Brenda.
As you can see it swimming next to the boat. As
Let's
Jin,
not
Jin
act
is
aggressive.
just standing there looking at it, his hand on his chin.
Jen,
Yeah.
you're just gonna watch it, right?
I was thinking about playing poker with it.
Well, if you want to try to play poker with it, I think Fenrir can talk to animals. Don't know if you already tried that or not, though.
Don't think
Okay.
that's an animal.
It looks like an underwater giant sea turtle.
Yeah. Something like that.
Is that
Can
what
I
I think
get
it is,
a
Stacy?
history check with advantage, Cassie?
Oh, okay. History check, advantage. Oh boy. Let's see.
Nope, you don't have a fucking clue. It's giant turtle. Yeah, he's just staring at it.
You know what it is? I haven't come across anything like this.
No, but it looks not like something I'm ready to deal with.
Not anything I want to deal with either. So we were trying to keep the people on top of the ship from. You know, trying to go fishing for something that large.
You see Jin's tilted his head to the side as if trying to guess something. But you also hear footsteps on the stairs from upstairs. Somebody be coming down.
Do a little turn.
It sounds like they're coming down from the main deck down into the lower, so they got a minute before they get down into the lower or
Okay.
down into the hold with you. You just gonna wait for them, or are you gonna go try to cut them off?
You'll wait for now.
It takes a couple seconds, but Christopher, you get down there. You can see Jin is looking through the wall, and Cassie is just there. I'm gonna go with not food. Because he doesn't even turn to look at you. He's still looking outside the side of the ship.
Looks like the type of thing that you don't fuck around with.
If you look in Discord, you will also see the image. I wouldn't let it hear that.
Is he a... Christopher, how good are you at judging body language?
And you just got a picture, Chris.
Cassie just seems thoroughly unhappy with your
He hasn't yet. Chris, can I get a history check? You got no idea what that is. It's big and turtly.
Jen. Please keep an eye on Christopher. He seems to want to throw himself off of the ship into trouble. Just say that, just start walking up the steps. She just...
You hear from Jen. I don't think you're gonna find anything out there with that thing here.
Cassie will just start moving up the stairs to the others.
He gestured for you to try asking. You see the massive turtle turn its head and shift right up next to the boat, which Arcane, you and Sandow can see it moving towards the boat because the shadow's moving.
Cassie has already been moving up the steps. I'm guessing she can't hear it anyway since...
Oh, you can hear the muffled illusion. You don't know what the turtle's doing.
Arcane is going to look at... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, she's just making that sound, hurrying up the stairs more to get to the top deck.
Say, if Arcane and Sandow saw that, Arcane is going to look at Sandow knowing that Christopher just went downstairs and go, honey, I think that our friend Christopher is causing problems. And she's just going to get up and start running down as fast as she can to go down because she saw everyone go that way to try and get there.
You plow right into the cat as you come up. Or go down.
Oh gosh, honey. And she go, oh my goodness, honey, I'm so sorry. I saw that shadow move and I'm assuming that Christopher has done something
It
that Christopher
moved.
would do.
Santa's just
Yeah, it's
standing
getting
where he
closer to
is.
the
She
ship.
just looks even just more pissed, if you could just tell by her body language. Guess back down we go. And she's
Arcane is running.
turning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cassie's making her way down to about at the same speed because she already essentially hurried her speed to go back up the steps. Now she has to go back down.
Sando, what are you doing up there? You're just staying
Oh,
up there
Sando's.
sewing?
Yes, Sando's just standing up there. Doesn't really know what's going on. They seem really worried about something, but no. This shadow doesn't seem that mean. So
I mean,
Downstairs.
Arcane did tell you she was worried about Christopher. So.
he's just gonna stand up there.
Downstairs, y'all see Christopher and Jin see this thing come right up to the side of the boat and press its eye against the hole in the boat to take a look around. The eye is bigger than you. Everyone hears a deep rumble. As the ship itself vibrates.
Cassie will at least explain on the way down to Arcane what she saw.
Arcane, you are described a massive turtle with large spikes all along its shell, long flippers, and a massive dragon-like beak.
Would Arcane know anything about
Roll me history.
that? History. Okay. I like to read and stuff, so we'll see how we do. History.
Arcane, you
There you go.
immediately know what that is. They're not supposed to come this big, but there's a couple records of really big ones. That's a dragon turtle, and that's a problem. Those things
well then,
are
as Arcane's running,
territorial as fuck.
all right, as Arcane's running, she's gonna go, Cassie, honey, I need you to go get Finn and Sandow ready. That is a dragon turtle, and they are extremely territorial and will kill everything they can who gets in their way. I'm gonna go let Finn and Christopher know that we need to not bother that thing. And then she's gonna just keep running as fast as she
Good
can.
luck, and she'll be going upstairs to go grab Fenrir and Sandow and let them know.
Do you say
I
dragon
just-
turtle?
Yep.
Yep. Cassie.
Oh.
I like to say, as Arcane gets in the room, she would probably just be like, dragon turtle, dragon turtle, dragon turtle, just short running in there. No.
What is Fenrir up to?
Well, with those screaming dragon total, he's not going to want to be confined to a small area down at the bottom of the ship. He's probably just going to take his pipe out and watch from above. See what's
Fair.
going to happen.
So, Chris, what you doing down there as they're running? You see it narrow its eye. It's then looking around the interior of the ship.
But it rumbled. Was it speaking any language like Draconic or anything?
No, it
Or
sounded
was
like it was just rumbling.
making a roll?
After that, you do hear it say something. What languages does the party speak?
I'll send you the whole list of mine.
Christopher doesn't understand it. Fenrir doesn't understand it. Arcane doesn't understand it. Cassie doesn't understand it. None of y'all understand it.
Nice. Does it sound like just rolls or just a deep rumble?
It sounds like a deep rumble of a language, but it definitely sounds like a language.
Okay, so we could tell it's trying to say something back to us. Okay.
If y'all want to roll a history check, you might be able to recognize the language to a degree.
-1. I got this, guys. Let's go.
5.
In my teens, so I got a chance.
Not one of you have any clue as to what language it is.
I'm gonna. I think I hate doing this, but I think I'm gonna use the inspiration that I have on it. Just 'cause I'm worried this thing's gonna kill us all.
Okay.
Correct me if
Roll
you're
with
wrong.
advantage.
Don't you have a god thing you could just ask, like a wish? Or is that later on as a cleric?
Later on, I
The
think.
one thing that I,
Later on.
yeah, I mean, yeah, right now the only thing I really have is that'll be later, and then the only thing I have is for my hermit background, but that wouldn't help here. All right.
Gotcha.
You have
Holy
advantage,
crap!
so roll
Well,
again.
you know what? Oh, I'm having the worst roll here. Uh,
That
Nice.
one,
better.
you stop to think about it, and you recognize why nobody can speak it. First off, it's underwater, which is a strange way to speak anyway. Most languages don't work well underwater. But you recognize this as one of the rare languages that not many people speak. It is a dialect of primordial. Considering it's underwater, it's probably Aqua.
Arcane would tell everyone that. Say, y'all, I don't think we're gonna understand it, and I don't have anything prepared where I can comprehend languages or anything. So I really think we need to just leave it alone and hope it doesn't tear the ship apart with us in it.
You can't tell where it's looking. Its eyes the size of the hole.
He's trying to
And
sleep
this
with
turtle
you.
don't give a fuck about what you've seen. You were looking at a CR-24 creature. It does not care.
Sando keeps trying to speak to it in the oldest languages he knows, which is Giant and then Draconic. Hopefully it's learned a thing over its years.
Finn would probably answer you in Draconic and said, I've already probably tried that when I spoke.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Cassie will look over to Jen. Jen, do you understand anything it said?
He shakes his head. But you'll do hear a rumble in Giant.
Oh, nice.
One word. Bracket. As you see the turtle moving off.
Is it saying the Kraken or is those a Kraken? Okay, that's out of character. Sorry, guys. I'm just talking out loud.
Oh, okay.
Did you understand something, Sando?
Yeah, he was saying something about a Kraken. It's
You
either
just
he's
see
asking either
Cassie's
Hang on, let him
face.
finish.
Either
Then we go to Cassie.
Okay.
either he's asking what's Kraken, or we have a bit of a different issue on our hands.
And
Don't
you
worry,
just
he's
see
with the kids. What's crack-a-lackin', buddies?
Cassie, you kind of just see her tense up, and she just kind of goes bolting out to try to get the ship ready.
Is the Kraken like a legendary creature now? Like, since me growing up in tribe land and on land, would I know about the Kraken? What it is?
They are known. They are very dangerous creatures, and people on the sea know about krakens. It's not the kraken, it's just a kraken.
Gotcha. So it's typically I would know. Okay, it's a big creature. That's what I was getting. At.
You
Okay.
could also guesstimate with Hellcast. You just fucking reacted with hearing that word.
Gotcha.
So, Cassie, what are you going to do to prepare the ship?
She's just trying to find anything that she can if they have to defend the ship and that, like harpoons, like anything that she remembers, just in case they get attacked by a kraken. Okay.
You know, based on what you have on the ship, there ain't nothing you can do to that kraken, whether you want to or not.
Yeah. She's just slowly kind of realizing, like, no, until they like F F F F F. You know what I mean? She's just kind of actually feeling overwhelmed. And she's just kind of like searching. But as you said, there is nothing. So eventually she'll kind of just go to the top of ship after not finding really anything to help.
As you head back on down, it's at this point, y'all don't see the turtle anymore.
That's why she had to top the ship to see if there was any other shadows.
It's all calm. Too calm.
Can she roll anything to remember, like, if there's any info about Kraken's behavior?
Not anything solid, but they're evil and like destroying ships. You see Jim's gonna sit down and he's gonna continue to watch out of the hole in case that damn thing comes back.
Probably slightly breathless from sprinting down the stairs. Arcane would say, "All right, Jen, I'm assuming you got this, so I'm gonna head back up top and try and keep watch from up there." Okay, and then she's just gonna make her way back up the stairs, but not running this time because she just sprinted down those.
Is there anything
Sando's
else?
going to join upstairs.
What would y'all like to do as y'all make it up?
He's going to go back to teaching how to sew.
Fair.
He pulls out his spell book, and there's a page dedicated to the difference between a running stitch, back stitch, blanket stitch, just all these different ones.
The shadow is long gone,
Sure,
Chris.
Just Google.
Arcane would try to pay attention to Sando, but I think she'd be more focused on the surroundings. So she probably wouldn't be super focused on what Sando was trying to teach, which she would feel bad about at a different time. But
Once again, the hours start to pass, one after the other, with no sign of any movement again. The ocean is quiet. An hour, a few hours turns into a day, into a second day, as the boat moves without any input from the crew. Your stomachs are rumbling, and once again you're starting to become weak. The effects of the fruits long since passed. But a few days later, there is something that y'all hear. The first big sound that you've heard since running into the dragon turtle. You hear the call of a bird.
Land. Guy not being a fishing dude, he doesn't know what that means, but
I'm guessing Cassie could kind of tell what that means. Based
If there's
from
a
her
bird,
prior
that
knowledge.
usually means there's a land somewhere.
Land.
yeah, usually.
She'll kind of
Yeah.
just
Well,
be
that's-
on. She's probably just kind of been on the deck, so she'll kind of look for where it is, the bird. Because we're just hearing it, correct?
Yeah. And you see it high up above.
Which direction is it kind of heading? Like, kind of like past the ship? Like,
It's not heading anywhere, it's just circling over the boat.
she's just watching it for now.
It does not. So I'll climb up to the board watch and see if I can see land. But I'll get to the highest point with Cat looking around like what she's trying.
How do you get an intelligence check from you, Cassie?
Okay.
Someone paused.
Intelligence
Oh, sorry,
check.
pause. I need that intelligence check from Cassie. You can just click the word intelligence. Cassie, as you're looking up, and then you kind of look and you're just like, oh, and then it passes through a cloud, and you're like, oh. Because if it's all the way up at the cloud layer, and you can see it that well, that's a big fucking bird. That's like a dragon-sized bird.
Yeah, Cassie's just gonna motion for the crew to get under the deck. If anyone else is up there.
Sandow starts walking down.
Cassie's going below deck. And if anyone's close to her and not listening, she's going to attempt to drag them with her.
Anybody else staying on deck?
Arcane will
I
go
mean, I'm
under
trying to-
below deck.
I figure if it's too high or I'll probably find because feed.
It's at that point. Can I get a perception check from Cassie as you're the first one heading down?
Perception check. Where's that? Oh, here we go.
You hear the splashing of water from the hole.
The water's coming in.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Not at a steady stream, but it sounds like it's sprawling.
Bless you.
So the
Thank you.
magic is starting to come undone.
Probably.
She's probably gonna go check beneath the ship.
As you get down there, you see fucking Jin go running by with a bucket
Cassie's gonna do the same thing.
as he's attempting to bail the ship.
Cassie's gonna help.
I don't
bail
know
the
if
ship.
that's. I don't know if that's really gonna do anything.
It's something.
Yeah, I would help, but when we look outside a hole, how close is the ground to the ship?
You don't
We
see
see
any
any-
ground.
Okay. Right. I'll be keeping an eye on through that little hole to see if there's any ground. Well, as soon as the ground gets close, because I'm having a feeling we're just gonna crash into it.
What's the rest of the party while Jin and Cassie are bailing the ship? As Cassie, you notice once you go down, it's not a steady flow. Every couple minutes, the barrier will flicker and water will flood in.
Yeah, she's just when she goes upstairs to like bail it, just ask the others to start helping with that at least. Because eventually that will start to deteriorate more from what she's understanding. But it's good to get water out while they can.
Are we able to figure out if there's another option besides just bailing? Like if there's any type of fix we could try and do, or is it just we think the best chance is to just try and bail water while we can?
If y'all lose the barrier at the bottom, y'all don't have the materials to fix the hole at the very bottom of the ship in the center of the hold. If that barrier goes, the ship is sinking. There's nothing you can do about it. If y'all had the materials, you might be able to. If y'all had the know-how, you might be able to. But nobody in the party does.
And this is still MIA, right?
Yeah, y'all haven't seen this. But it takes 3
With my blind sight.
They're not invisible, so you just don't know where they are.
Okay. That's why I thought she might have been flying around invisible halfway through the day. That's why I was like, just like reminding you I have blind sight. Just the same. No problem.
It would have helped. But it takes 3 long hours of bailing, as you'll know the sun is setting. When y'all suddenly, I need an acrobatics check from the whole party.
I'm at disadvantage, right? My chainmail.
Not with acrobatics. I don't think.
It's been a
I
few
couldn't
days
remember if
since
it was
we've seen
all
the
deck.
total.
It's just stealth, I believe. But
Okay.
Fenrir, Sandow, and Arcane, as well as Jin and Loki, all get flung forward, slamming into the walls as y'all hear the front of the boat go crunch as y'all slam into something.
Cass is gonna go over to help Arcane get up.
As y'all can see those that
Would
were still at
appreciate
the
it.
hold level, which was Jin and Sandow, you see a problem. The front of the hold just crumbled. And a bunch of sand is now. There's a wall of sand where the front of your ship should be in the hold. Land ho? Hear from Jin. As now, you don't have the issue of the hole in the ground being an issue. It's still there, but now it's full of sand.
Cass is gonna go check above deck after helping Arcane up.
As you
Arcane would follow you.
make your way up
Same.
along with Christopher, you come up on deck and see you have indeed crashed on an island, a massive mountainous island. You see great spires standing tall above you, and lots of beach, some fields. Very pretty place. There's a nice breeze. It's a nice tropical warm. You see some coconut trees. It looks nice.
Cass is just looking over the land as much as she can from the ship, at least. She is at least suspect of the ship, given suspect of suspicious of the island, given what the Sapphire Sage had said last time.
Okay. So what will you do?
Sandow jumps down. Sorry.
You just jumping off the side of the ship?
Yep.
Need a acrobatics check as you fall about 15 feet.
Okay.
You're gonna flop face first and take 6 bludgeoning damage.
That is fine.
But it is soft, silky sand. It's not rough, it's nice.
I don't know if you read it, but I was gonna say on the way up, Finn would at least look in on the rest of the crew and make sure none of them will be beat up from the crash.
No, they didn't even move. They slid a little bit, but with the ropes holding them in place, they're still there.
Okay. Then yeah, then I'll go up and yeah, I'll probably be on Sandow's level and probably jump in where there might be the watery area.
There isn't a
Hopefully
There's
more
it'll
also
stay
a
there.
watery
rope.
area. The boat's beached itself.
There's a rope.
Oh, what? I'll go down the rope.
But y'all are able to get back on to land the first time in almost a week. But there's nothing really here to meet you except a small crab standing on the beach just kind of watching.
Dude. Gotta catch it.
All I can imagine is Loki going to go catch it.
Loki's still on the deck. You can't climb a
Lead
rope.
him to it.
Cassie
shit.
will
I
help
would
him
grab him.
down because she can at least climb. Or at least like
Feathers
tie.
Gonna put him in my mouth and
Okay.
Um,
Hi.
Before everyone takes off, I feel like Arcane would literally just yell, wait, really loud and say, all right, I feel like I have aged 150 years since we have been on this ship. And I mean just this recent part, not the part before. Can we, for once, try to work together instead of all just doing everything that doesn't make sense? Like, let's not just eat the first thing we see without trying to figure out what it is. Just maybe take a little time and try and do things just a little bit with our heads, like the intelligent side of our brains, please.
I think some of them had already run off. Cassie is still kind of like on the ship at this point. She was going to go down with Loki, but since, Fenrir already took off with Loki.
Sandow's waiting to help people down.
Any response to that, Arcane? As Chris is saying he's going to go gather some food and test it so you don't get cursed.
I think Arcane is just trying to breathe for a minute and calm down because it has been a bit of a wild ride with people going slightly AWOL. So she'd probably take a few deep breaths and say, you know what? Do it. I don't care. If I do whatever, doesn't matter. And just try and sit there for a minute and breathe.
Just remember that there are dangers lurking on this island based off what the Sapphire Sage has said. We need to be careful.
As well, the sun is going down. You'll have maybe 20 minutes of light before it goes dark.
I
gotta make
suggest
sure that happens.
Kane's gonna
we gather what we can, we head back into the ship, and we wait from there. Does that sound fair with you, Arcane?
Do we think the ship will be fine? Right, the ship, we should assume it will be okay because even if the magical barriers break, we're already beached, so it's not like the whole thing is going to flood.
Yeah, the back might get flooded, but it's not going anywhere. It destroyed the fun half of the ship coming down this time.
It's safer at least to be where we know where everything is rather than to be exposed in the elements out there.
Yeah, no, that's why I was just checking that. That was kind of my out of character thing. Then Arcane would say, yeah, I think that we're almost out of daylight, so we should probably try and see if there's anything very close to the ship without going far away that maybe looks edible, and do what Christopher's seeing and see if we can try and figure out what it is and if it's safe to eat. And then we should stay on the ship for the night before we go exploring because we're going to lose daylight.
There's a nod. Cassie will at least go off and try a search for some other food as well.
What kind of food you're looking for? Because there's some coconut trees. There's a crab just sitting on the beach watching you. It's the only thing that stands out at the moment.
Given her climbing speed, I think Cassie would go with the coconut since she's probably better at climbing the trees than some other folks.
Fair enough. Chris, where are you headed? Going with Cassie, Fenrir?
I think me and Loki are gonna try to gather some crabs. See if we could find any more besides just that one, but we're gonna go after the one. Get some
You
meat in the
see-
diet.
Loki is attempting to bite at it, but the crab's just like, snip, 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 I'll get your nose, snip, snip. Where's Sandow going?
Sandow's staying by the ship with the girls.
Oh,
You mean
Cassie's gone.
Arcane.
Oh yeah, with Arcane.
And Arcane, what are you up to?
Arcane wants to try and see if she can see anything more that would be like protein based. Like we saw one crab. Can she find any more crab like stuff or fish or anything that would give? Because if those are actual coconuts, she's assuming that would give some type of hydration and stuff, but wants to see if there's anything to get food in people.
Are you going to look in the water, or are you going to look in the field?
I think she'd let Sandow know, honey, I'm just going to go real quick and see if we can find anything more protein based for people to eat. And I think she would probably go try and look over in the field area because they haven't had a lot of luck in the water. And if there were fish, she'd have to try and catch them, which is nothing she's good at. So try and see if there's anything not too far from the ship, but anything more on the land that might provide sustenance.
As you're going over there, the sun is setting. And where's Fenrir before I go on?
I'm hunting crabs with her, or at least looking
Right.
for some meat on the
Just
beach.
asked about
Yeah.
that. So as you're going out, Arcane, looking around, Jin is coming with you to keep an eye on things. And you really don't see much, but the one thing you do catch off in the distance looks like a grassy knoll that is slowly moving across the plain over at the edge of one of the cliff sides. Probably almost a quarter of a mile out.
That's all Arcane or everybody that was hunting for the meat.
The Arcane, because Arcane went to the plains, you're in the
Okay.
water.
Gotcha.
And Jen came with, or no?
Yeah, you have Jin.
So Jen saying, Jen, honey, that's just a little ways away. Do you think we'd be able to look over there before things get too dicey for the night, or do you think it's best just to stay at the ship and let everyone know about it for tomorrow?
We might be able to get there. We'll be back by the time I get back. It'll be dark though. It's almost a full
True,
moon though, so we'll have some pretty good light.
Well, all right. I guess we should maybe try and see if we can find anything there. I know I let Sandow know that we were going to go look for more food, so Sandow could pass on, and then I guess we can head over there. And if Jen's gone, Arcane would head with Jen.
Jin's gonna start off with a jog, pulling a long javelin from his sheath, or from the quiver on his back, which has his longbow and arrows as well. But he's gonna go off at a jog. Fenrir, as you're
And would
looking
follow.
around, you see there is a good number of crabs and tiny fishes. Not to make a good meal, but definitely something.
Well, then nothing. I'll start collecting them.
How are you going to be collecting
Them in
them? They're faster than you.
I was gonna I have arrows. I could use the arrows.
Yep, you can go bow hunting.
Yeah,
Give me
I'll
a
try to
survival
use the
check.
arrows if the Bible. Thank you.
You get a good some. Not the biggest haul, but definitely enough to sate y'all's hunger, at least for a little while.
Bringing it over to Sandow and saying, keep an eye on them. Don't eat them yet. And
All right.
I give Loki a look to keep an eye on Sando. As I go back, I'm gonna I want to start making a little watchtower. For obviously we need to keep a lookout when we take our long rest. So a little like area to sit down and keep an eye on the surroundings.
Cool. So you set up. Sun is starting to set. Cassie and Christopher, can I get survival checks from you two?
Okay.
Nice.
Between the two of you, y'all get about 10 coconut of decent size.
And Cassie's kind of probably just been tossing them down.
Have you been throwing coconuts at Chris from the top of a tree?
Yes.
Probably.
Just say yes. Go with it, Cassie.
Yes.
Christopher, have you been attempting to catch them?
Yes.
Oh, Cassie's just been throwing them down. She's expecting
Well,
you to
do
catch
note,
them.
magic is not something you can non-lethal. Magic and ranged attacks. Okay. Christopher, I need a dexterity save. Okay. You get nailed by one of the coconuts, but that is. You have a massive bump on the back of your head.
It's just he went to reach down to go grab one. Another one came flying down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just been trying to work as fast as possible, trying to get this in 20 minutes. It's a lot of time.
So you're minor illusioning some more coconuts? Yeah.
Oh, there's still 10 coconuts, other than the minor illusioned ones.
Yep.
Correct? Okay.
Yep.
Kind of when it starts looking like darker, she'll eventually like climb down from the tree. Just imagine like a cat scratching down from like a curtain or something. While she's going down. The highest claw marks on the tree.
But y'all are able to get back. So y'all have some crab, y'all have some smell fish, and you'll have some coconuts. Arcane and Jin are still away, and the sun is starting to set. But Arcane, you and Jin have noticed something interesting as you've gotten close. The big grassy knoll seems to have horns, long spiral horns, and seems to be double your size.
She'd look over to Jen and say, honey, are we going to try and kill this thing so we can drag it back for food?
Honestly, I think we should leave it for now that I've gotten a better look at it. The thing looks a lot bigger than I thought.
Well, then, do you want to head back to the ship?
There's a nod. At least we know it's there.
All right. Arcane's fine to head back to the ship.
So y'all make it back after a little while, and y'all see the others have found some crabs, some fish, and some coconuts. Still no sign of this.
Arcane would tell the rest of everyone else about what they found. That way, everyone knows that there's something bigger there that we could hopefully hunt tomorrow for more food.
Yes, I will not. She'll ask tomorrow when I find Rare's blades, so at least help cut open some of the coconuts and that. And to help,
Yeah, you gave me
get
back
the
my.
fish ready for prep, since her blades aren't really made to do that type
I
of thing.
forgot that you gave me back my short sword. I would have gave you
Yeah.
back the same short sword I gave you. Or tossed it to you, actually, because I am on the ship trying to get a little makeshift watch
Well,
out
she would have
post,
went
so-
back onto the ship and that with the stuff.
Alright.
There are rocks, yes. Nice big rocks.
And Arcane would do the old-fashioned, where you kind of take a coconut and hit it on the rock to be able to break through the husk of it. And then you peel the husk off, and you have the inside, and you use the rock to kind of tap and crack it open.
Nice.
Yeah, Cassie's using the knife to kind of just fillet the fish and the crab so that they could hopefully cook and eat it.
You see Jin actually starts expertly dealing with these fish. He's got them, with the Cassie's assistance, has them skinned, deboned, and cooking on some in a pot he found in the ship.
My kind of guy knows how to cook. Alright.
Let's give some bonus brownie points.
I don't know if he knows his nickname yet, but it's just White Hot in my book.
White hot sailor man.
You see, he's got the fish in a pan, and he's got a pot of seawater boiling, which he's gonna move into after it's boiled out all the salt. He's gonna switch it into another one, boil it again, put the crabs in there, and he's gonna boil y'all some crabs.
Nice.
Yeah. Cassie will just see if she can assist
Christopher's
him
out
with
here.
this.
Do something in chat, CC.
Yeah. You don't detect anything, Chris. Not a single thing. He
That
doesn't
too.
have
It's out of
a
nowhere.
It's the chef apron. He did find a fight me for dinner.
Right. Okay,
Nice.
that was like an out of character comment, but like, got it.
That's what his
Cassie's
apron says. Fight me for dinner.
Alright,
Nice.
Cassie's at least trying to help him like cook the stuff and that though.
Fair.
Alright, yeah. She's trying to
And-
help and kind of like learn at the same time. She's done some stuff. Go ahead, sorry.
Most
Oh no, that's fine.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say, with the coconuts, I would add I'd have like hopefully a pot to catch the water that comes out in. But as like opening the coconuts, they just like normal coconuts? Because on the last island, the fruit was not normal fruit, right?
Yep.
And the mushrooms were definitely not normal mushrooms. Are these just normal coconuts we would be used to seeing?
Absolutely normal. And when you get one cracked open, you can see the coconut juices sloshing, and then you see Jin move for a second as he puts something in your coconut. You don't know where he got the straw. You don't know where he got the tiny umbrella. But your coconut now has both.
Well, that's just such a lovely addition. I appreciate that so much, honey. And if it was broken half, right, you'd assume that half the liquid would be in one, and then the other has like the coconut meat. So I think
Yeah.
Arcane would be stacking as she cracks them, like handing them out so people can have coconut juice to drink or coconut water. So people get that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Montini mix.
But you do, Christopher. Normal items wouldn't be giving off magic, so this is pretty normal. Just seem to be normal coconuts. Normal crabs.
Small fish.
But y'all are able to get the first good meal in a while. It's not super filling, as everything was a little small, but it is taking the edge off the hunger. It's nice.
She will at least be like using some of her seasoning while they're cooking, at least make it like taste better, like salt, pepper.
Nice.
Don't know. So
Sand gonna trust after last time was in.
I didn't catch any of that as your mic messed up.
Yeah.
I said, would Stan trust you after what happened to him last time and he let you put seasoning in his food? He shit
Oh,
his brains
100%.
out.
it's just salt and pepper. Everyone's gonna be eating this, not just you.
But yeah, y'all get some
Did
nice
not-
food. It's good. It's even different than what y'all had on the other island, because that didn't settle in your stomach all that well. It just kind of dissolved. This, the meat from the crab settles in and immediately has a weight to it. You're like, oh, I've got a full belly. Fuck, it's not full, but there's something in your stomach. And it sits there and it's brilliant. As y'all haven't had decent food in a while.
And it's
As I
actually
give,
seasoned. Go ahead.
As I
sorry.
give Loki some of the crab meat and fish meat, I say, you got lucky. You were the next one on the menu. And I throw him some extra feed. Food.
He gives you the paws of fury.
It's nice to feel something else has settled in my stomach.
That's nice.
Yeah,
That
you finally got your meat.
yeah, it's nice to have something other than fruit. Just kind of wish the others were around to enjoy this as well.
How are you feeling, Sand? Speaking of which, since you're supposed to be like decent inside.
I'm feeling pretty good. Still feel like there's the evils of the world in my stomach still just sitting there. But so far, feeling pretty all right.
Out of character, every time he opens his mouth, you just hear screams.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everything has at least been spiced with like salt, pepper. So I'll write down the charges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But is there anything else you would like to do throughout the night?
I'll probably occasionally keep watching that, like take turns, sleep. Hopefully,
Let's-
actually get some.
Yeah, that I had.
The island does get darker and darker. You'll have pretty much only the fire to keep y'all visible. You'll do know there is a lantern hanging in the ship if y'all want to go grab that.
I was gonna keep all the thing on my watch anyways. When I keep watch in the little makeshift area I made, I have magical and non-magical devil sight, so the dock with me thinking.
An arcane would add, if anybody needs some more light, I can just put light on something. It only lasts for an hour, but if anyone feels like they need extra light on things, I'm more than happy to give us some.
So,
A couple days since I used the speak with animals spell, right? Cici,
Yeah.
with the total. Alright.
Cassie will probably take the lantern when it's like her time to keep a watch. Since...
When you pick up the lantern, you notice something strange about this lantern.
Is there a thistle on it?
There's a very annoyed fairy stuck inside of it.
Thistle! she'll kind of like open up the lantern thing to let her out. How did you get in there?
I was looking close behind me.
Are you
She promptly
okay?
falls out and flops on the ground.
She'll like gently pick up the thistle and put her on her shoulder.
It's just a flop of a fairy.
I'm sorry you had to go through all that. We were wondering. I've kind of been trying to search for you for the last while.
Did you not wonder why the lantern kept lighting up? Trying to give messages.
Oh, I'm sorry.
As y'all are realizing, in your hunger and just in the stress of everything, you didn't notice, but that lantern kept lighting up throughout the night. And y'all were using it as a light. No one ever thought anything of it because it was hanging. Just thought magic lantern.
Well,
Nah,
we
it
got
was a
some
fucking fairy.
food. Do we got some food left at least for this old to have some?
Not really, but they're a little bit. But they're just flopped in the sand just like that.
Well, shoot.
But throughout the night, nothing really happens. You'll make it all the way to the next day. Our stomachs are just like, okay, we got some food. Can I have some more? More, please? More? More?
Kathy would at least have let this one know the obvious that we at least got to the island, which we'll explore more in the morning.
Fair.
Mhm.
What would y'all like to
First
do?
thing on first thing on Finn's agenda is going out and maybe getting breakfast. Going to the cut with a little bit deeper in.
Do we have some like fishing like traps on the ship itself?
Not traps. Y'all would have nets, but nothing super good for right here. But Arcane and Jin do know about the moving grassy knolls.
That would be Arcane's plan, would be to head up there to see about trying to get one of those. And probably want to have more people come with, since Jen didn't think that Jen and she could take it alone. So if the white hot sailor man doesn't think that he can take one down, definitely wants to try and yeah.
Especially since y'all are a little weakened by not eating for several days.
Cassie will at least probably go with you guys and take her crossbow out, since it's more proper.
Well, and
for
Arcane's
her.
hope is, yeah, her hope is that the whole group would go, like that we'd all go together, just so we have strength in numbers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Cassie will go grab Finn if he hasn't already disappeared off already.
You going hunting, Finn? Christopher,
Okay,
Sandel, y'all coming along?
I'm coming.
This will need some recovering, so they'll be out of this. So it takes a little while, but once y'all get out into the plains, you'll see there are two large grassy knolls walking along. Just two massive hills. Do y'all make a go for them, or are you gonna look for something else?
I think Arcane would just say, this is what we found. They are quite big. Do we want to try and get one?
Well, if you try to get one, the other one's probably gonna go. They're probably a pair.
How big are they? If you could hear me better now.
Significantly larger than you.
Like
Well placed.
hippopotamus big, or are we talking giraffe big?
Bigger than an elephant.
Bigger than an elephant. Okay.
Don't know if even one good place shot would take one down easy.
That's why I wanted to grab the rest of y'all. Come on, let's go get a better look.
I'll be
Cass
taking
will
the. Oh,
join
go
in.
ahead, Cass.
Mhm.
I was just gonna say I'm taking both my short swords out and tucking them behind my arm as I'm going in, crouching, trying to sneak in close.
Y'all have armored people. There no stealth on these things.
I'm trying to get a
Arcane would
gap.
probably hang. Arcane would hang back while others try and go up. Some who are maybe more stealthy to get an idea of things, because she figures they're not going to be that far away from her, and she'd know if they were going to attack it.
Yeah.
Things would go flying.
A little while, you'll do get close enough to get a look at these things. As y'all see two massive sheep that are covered in green. They look like they can feed y'all for a while. Even with Sandel's
Hunger.
hunger, yeah.
Have to go for it.
They are big chillin', just munching on some grass at the moment. They haven't even noticed y'all.
I'm too hungry to think
I
about
would
how bad this is gonna be for killing him. But yeah, I would probably be getting crouched like a predator, trying to get it too closer to his prey.
Yeah. Cassie is probably getting her crossbow ready and that, and just waiting.
So the party's gonna attack.
I would say
These
out of
creatures are from a
character.
movie, right? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say out of character. I know Arcane would feel terrible about this because she doesn't want to do it, but she also doesn't want all of us to starve. As kind of the theory in life, and that's a big issue that we could run into. So I think that she would, agree with the group. We might as well take them down. Not so good doing it though.
What creature am I thinking of? I've seen it in a movie or something that looked just like these things. Can't remember what it was though.
I do not know. But
Oh,
here is the
Nice
initiative.
snatch one.
They don't look like hunters. They probably won't be much help in actually helping you get food.
I like the nice nat 20 from Cassie.
I've been thinking all the animals we've encountered are really big. What if we are just really small? It's a theory.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, in the grand themes of things, we'll just specks. I get where you're going.
But, and honey, I've always been kind of small compared to most everyone else, so I'm just used to always being tiny, I guess.
That is true. You should probably eat more.
But Cassie,
I mean, I'm pretty full grown.
y'all have
Oh.
the drop on these creatures. You are going to be the first one. Y'all do get a surprise round against them as they have not noticed.
Okay, Cassie will at least go for a good crossbow hit on this one.
Gotcha. Roll for it. You have advantage.
I have advantage. Let me roll that again then.
That's going to hit. Okay. That is going to do some damage.
And before she'll at least switch over to back to her blades, at least with the rapiers,
Gotcha.
and summon off with her bonus action her echo.
Gotcha.
I think that's 15 feet. Let me double check. Oh,
That's
hold on.
20.
Why is there two? Hold on.
It's
There we
roll
go.
20 being done.
That was
No,
50.
that's 20 feet. So let me move her. Oh! It's freaking out. It's freaking out.
Just refresh.
Okay. Tried to move it back a square. Okay, I'm trying to load back in. There we go. 15. And with her weapons out. Yeah, she'll just kind of stay where she is for now.
That brings us to our boy Loki, who's coming charging, and he's like, I got the feet! I've got the hooves! Don't worry, boss, I got you! As he's gonna grab into it, rip the feet out from under this, or at least attempt to. He's gonna do 6 damage, causing this thing to make a strength save. He is going to manage to get the advantage, pulling this one off its feet. As the creature is still stunned and surprised, Arcane.
think since it's a surprise round, she'll just try and shoot the same one Cassie did with her crossbow.
Do note it is currently
do
prone
anything too
and will
quick.
have disadvantage. But you
Yep.
have advantage, so it's a normal shot.
Yep.
Which is going to miss. As it bounces off a vine in its floof. Anything else from Arcane?
She's just gonna move right about here. That's all.
That's going to bring us to Fenrir.
All right. Run after this boy. 5, 10, 20, and I'm gonna take a slash attack at him with the moon blade. And since he's prone, it's advantage, right? Since
Yep.
it's a melee attack.
Yep.
19. I don't know why it was an advantage when I rolled it, but I'll roll it again. Good hit. Crit fish. Nope. 19 for 6.
Gotcha. You're going to get a good slash in there.
Short sword being a monk blade, I could use it again for my bonus action.
No, it'd be an unarmed strike.
Oh yeah, because I have to do flurry of blows for that to happen. Okay.
No, flurry of blows is also unarmed strike, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was unarmed strike and monk weapons. I thought, but we'll see.
No, I think it's
that's alright. Okay, I'll try to kick it while it's down. Again, I don't know why that's not an advantage. 8, 6, whatever one you want to take on that one, because I forgot. It won't roll it.
Oh, it would be the first one, which is the 8.
That'll be my turn.
Alrighty. Flurry of blows. You may immediately make an attack to spend 1 key point to make 2 unarmed strike as a bonus action. I think specifically the Kensai might be able to switch it.
Okay, I'll keep a look on that when I get to my subclass. Sorry, thank you.
That's going to bring us to Jin. Jin is going to charge forward as well, drawing his sword. He doesn't have his shield on, so he's two-handing, as he is going to advantage strike at the one in front of him. He's going to hit for a 24, dealing 4 damage. Just going to bloody this one on the right. Christopher! You're going to shoot the same one that is going to miss at disadvantage. Gotcha. Sandow?
Sandow's pretty far away, so he's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And he only thinks we need to kill one of these. He doesn't want to kill both, so he's going to try to spook this one into running away. Just try to yell at it, pretty much.
Gotcha. Roll me an intimidate.
Okay.
Got it.
It does seem a bit spooked.
And that'll be it.
Cassie.
Alright, Cassie is going to move the echo down right in between those two, and let me make sure she's going to be, yeah, she is 30 feet away exactly from it, so she will stay there for now, and she is going to attack through her echoes, echo with us with these strikes. So first strike is going to be...
You have advantage.
Oh yeah.
That's going to hit. More damage.
Alright, and again through the echo for her other strike. Would this one have advantage?
Yep, it's prone. It has advantage till it gets up.
Okay.
That's going to miss.
She will do the thing of using one
Okay.
unleash incarnation to hit it again.
It's gonna crit as you bite into this for 14 damage. Your blade drawing more and more blood.
And how bloody does it look?
Bloody. That is all I can say.
Alright. We'll use the action surge then to
Okay.
attack it once again.
That's gonna crit again. 7 more damage. Still alive.
And based off of that, would I be able to use another unleash incarnation? Since it was
Yeah, whenever you take the attack action, which is the second part of the action surge.
Right.
That's gonna hit. Gonna do 6 damage, and that's gonna kill it. As Loki is gonna be trying to make sure it's dead. This goat is dead. Arcane.
Arcane's gonna hold her action, and it would specifically be to toll the dead if this one tries to attack. But she wants to see if Sandow scared it off, because she's same mind, doesn't want to kill both of them if she doesn't have to.
It's gonna start running. It's gonna take a dash to get about here. Are y'all giving chase or letting it run away?
Arcane would let it run.
Fenrir?
Yeah, you'll let it go.
Jin's letting it go, Chris? Vibe and Sandow?
Sando wanted it to go.
Cassie?
You'll let it go for now.
Alrighty, then it is escaped as it very slowly runs away.
Yeah, Cassie will kind of just snap her fingers, getting rid of the echo, and go over to help probably bring it over.
I'll be looking at Big Man for most of the heavy lifting, but I would help with that too.
Yep, got it.
It takes y'all 2 hours to drag this massive fucking sheep back to y'all's camp.
What if I recommend raging while we're going, like yelling at him, smacking him on the back of the head to keep the rage going while we're lifting it?
I mean, it's still taking forever. It's just a
Right.
big fucking sheep.
I tried.
Yeah.
But y'all do eventually make it back. Start cutting into it, clearing the wool off. There's a lot of grassy wool that can be used. Sando, you're pretty sure these can be used for woolly clothes. As it's some thick fucking wool.
I was planning on making clothes and a big old blanket.
You can do that.
Yeah,
Maybe a new robe.
Cassie will help skin it if Fenrir lets her borrow his blade again. So skin.
But
I would
it
help
takes
with this one.
a good long while to get this thing, but y'all have the oodles amounts of food now. It is so much food. Y'all could probably survive on this as a full crew for about a week. Just with the
Sick.
food y'all
Are we
get
able
from this creature.
And I'm guessing, are we able to like, what's it called? Like smoke it or dehydrate, you know what I mean? Like dry it out to make jerky, basically. So
Yeah.
as we're traveling around, we have just kind of cooked things with us.
Yeah.
Probably like cook some of it for like lunch, then jerky the rest of it.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Easy enough to do.
Yep.
And Cassie could probably get the seasoning stuff out to actually help make it jerky.
But after a good long while of cooking it, setting up some racks for jerky, getting some more coconuts, y'all have had a pretty good morning. And as we do that, I think before we move on to the next thing, that is going to be where we're going to leave it for tonight. So, good job, you guys. That was a lot of fun, and I am looking forward to continuing on next week on this very strange island. For everybody watching, I'd like to thank you for joining us as well, and I hope you come back next week to see where this goes. Have a wonderful night, y'all. Bye.